Some things just don't get discussed that often regarding this whole YouTube thing, especially the more taboo topics like making money. And if you're new and maybe just starting out and you're thinking, it's too early on to be considering things like making money or for it to be a concern, I'm going to tell you why it's not, along with a couple of other very crucial steps that YouTubers, especially beginner ones, so often neglect, and it really harms their channel and potential growth. We have two main umbrella topics for this concept, and we're going to go through them both in a bit of detail. The first one is going to be acting like a small YouTuber, regardless of if you are or if you aren't. So many new YouTubers get caught up in the mindset of being a small beginner YouTuber. I think it's super beneficial if you can act like you already have the YouTube channel that you would want, a successful one. And I don't mean in this like, oh, I'm so popular way. I mean in the way of like, take your channel seriously. Give yourself deadlines for things you need to complete. Give yourself tasks of what you need to do by certain times. Upload schedules that you actually stick to, or at least do your best to stick to, and quality standards as well. If a video isn't good enough, maybe it isn't the best idea to upload it to your channel. I can't even tell you how many videos I've filmed that never saw the light of day because I decided they just weren't up to the standard that I wanted them to be. But new YouTubers often kind of neglect all of this, going like, I'm such a small channel, I'll upload when I can. But not having the correct mindset is never going to give you the opportunity to get your channel to be one of the bigger channels. You have to act like a big channel and do the things that big channels would be doing to potentially get to that point one day. But if you're not acting like it now, it's unlikely that a channel that is behaving like a small channel is going to break through into being a big channel. So regardless of how small your channel is, act like it's a big channel already. Do the things that big channels would do. Analyze your way of doing things, your systems and your structures, and make sure that they're the best that they possibly can be. And if they're not, improve them and treat it like a real serious thing with schedules and deadlines and stick to them. The other thing is, by giving yourself credibility, you are going to act differently towards your own channel. Even in terms of the way you discuss things, the way you present your ideas, you're going to feel differently about it, not to mention that the viewer is going to pick up on that as well. So having the mindset of being a super successful, already big channel is going to give you that credibility to feel that way about yourself. Making everything that you do just make more sense. You're going to feel more confident about it. You're just going to give yourself that credibility. You're taking that credibility and like demanding it. It's not really about like faking it, but there are a few pretty good cliche sayings about fake it till you make it, or tell yourself a lie for long enough and it becomes the truth, or at least you believe it, or it actually does. And not to get too philosophical about everything, but if you believe you already have something and act like it, it's an amazing way of manifesting it, or at least performing the tasks and actions that it takes to make that thing come to life and put it into fruition. So acting like you already have it is super important. The next topic that we are going to discuss, the next little umbrella topic that we have, is kind of in line with this, and it's treating your channel like an actual business. The first thing we want to do here is niche down, and it's so important that we need to niche down in the right way, and I'm going to tell you why it's so important in a couple of steps from now. But let's work through this. If you have any desire to be working with brands or sponsorships or creating monetizable products of your own in the future, niching down is a sure way to direct yourself in the correct path. If you're all over the place, it's going to be much harder, not impossible, but a lot harder to put yourself on the right track to get these type of brand deals, because it's so like all over the place. Maybe nothing really fits it. If you can niche down into one zone, become kind of specialized in that zone, it's going to be so much easier to get brands, sponsorships, and your own products going. Let's walk through a little program that I have to actually help you find your niche and just niche down your kind of topic into one area. This is actually a little segment from one of the modules of my new program that I just released of how to become a full-time content creator in 30 days. I'm gonna give this little part away for you for free, and if you do want some more free training, you can actually check out the link in the description where you can go watch a whole nother video that's completely free, see what you think of it, and if it seems awesome to you, you can move on to actually enrolling in the program, which is amazing, by the way. But let's use our little system from that module of how to kind of find your niche and set yourself up on the right path to be monetizable down the line. So I'll throw this up on screen. This is just like a little template document that comes a part of the actual course and this specific module that you can work through just to help you kind of figure out what you want to be doing. You can actually download this from in the description, completely free again. But what you want to do here, you want to think of an umbrella niche for the subject matter that you want to create that seems awesome to you. So what's the main type of content that you will create? And it's important to be broad and realistic in terms of possible ways to monetize such content. These days, we are fortunate enough that almost anything can be monetized, no matter how weird or strange it might seem. There's most likely a way you can monetize it. But be broad. Instead of saying something like, I want to film cycling, say you want to film athletic sports, because that opens up the whole field. So we do need a niche down, but we want to find a big, broad umbrella niche. The next thing is to just figure out all of your different avenues within that umbrella niche. So you can fill out this, go get this form and just work along with it with me. What are the possible offshoots and avenues that fall under the same niche? If it's athletic sports, we could be like apparel, equipment, personal trainers, athletes, nutrition, facilities, anything that you can think of that falls under this athletic niche. Put it in there so you just have a guideline of how you're going to kind of follow it through as you create content, and you don't lose track or sight of that niche that you could kind of be sticking to. The next and final thing for this point is that we need to think of the possible content that we could create from these things. Now this is set up in a way to find your niche for being a filmmaker or creating content for other companies. But it works perfectly if you want to create YouTube videos, and you just might want to change this to be, instead of what could each avenue potentially need benefit from in terms of content type and style, images, promo videos, social content, just change it to be more appropriate to YouTube. So if it's athletic sports, it could be like tutorials on how to run more further, I don't know, shoe reviews, like any types of reviews. Whatever different styles of content that you can think of that is going to fall into this, that you could create about these different avenues under your umbrella niche, write that down on there. And finding this little niche is super, super important from the beginning of your kind of content creator journey, because it's going to allow you to stay on track, to build an audience that is all in line with one thing. There's nothing worse than kind of not taking this seriously as a content creator, like the first tip, and kind of just making a bunch of different stuff that you want to create. Maybe it's like some fishing videos, some camera reviews, some athletic videos. You're going to build up multiple different audiences within your channel and community. And when you do actually decide to niche down further down the line, half of your viewers aren't going to be interested in the videos that you create anymore, telling YouTube that the majority or half of your subscribers aren't interested in your content. And then I'm going to push that content to as many people, because your subscribers are the first barrier that YouTube tests your content before they push it out to a larger range of people. And if half of them aren't interested in the content you're creating, you're immediately killing your chances of it being seen or recommended to potential new subscribers to your channel. So niche down, stay on track. Your audience needs to know what they're getting from your channel. The other thing that we need to focus on in this second kind of umbrella is set yourself up to be monetizable from the beginning. Again, treating yourself like a business. Look, I know, enjoy this. It needs to be your passion and stuff. Yes, I completely agree. But if you want any chance of doing this full time, you do need to earn money from it. And the way that you're going to earn money from it is being monetizable and treating it like a business and focusing on those elements of it as well. Of course, you need to be passionate about it. I think it's so extremely difficult to become a successful YouTuber these days that if you aren't passionate and enjoy doing it, after a certain amount of time, having revenue benefit from it, you're going to give up and be over it if that's your only goal, to make money out of it. So yes, passionate about it, all that good stuff. But at some point you are going to have to decide, oh, I actually want to like pull the trigger on this. I need to be able to make money from it. Otherwise, of course, it's not sustainable. You're not going to be able to do it full time if you're not making any money. So for this reason, you need to understand your demographic, and you need to understand what you can offer to your viewers or your potential viewers that you might want to build up in your community, and you need to understand how you can organically monetize that area. The program and the module that we just went into goes into this in way more detail, finding your quantifiable end result and all this other good stuff. Again, you can check out the free training if that's something you're interested in, but you need to understand how you can monetize the audience that you might potentially build. Is it going to be through products? Is it going to be through courses? Is it going to be through sponsorships, through other brands and clients? You really need to understand your demographic or your ideal viewer so that you can stay on track and build it up to suit those people. So even if you aren't doing something like creating products or fully monetizing yourself at this point right now, understanding your demographic, the type of person that is going to be watching your videos or the people that you would ideally have watching your videos is crucial, because then you can start to build out products and different things that you can monetize to that specific type of person. The last thing is going to be analyzing yourself subjectively like a business would do. I love doing this exercise and I do it all the time. I'll look at any of my systems, workflows, the way I'm setting things up, and subjectively go like, is this how a big successful business, even not in the content creator space, would run things? Is this like super disorganized? Is this really a workaround, silly way of doing things? Is there easier ways I can do stuff? And just looking at each little process of this whole content creator thing, because there's actually a lot of different aspects to this whole content creator thing. And if you can streamline them and build yourself systems to be able to do this properly like an actual business with other crew members and people on board working all together, if you have a whole team, if you can do that properly, it's gonna make this whole thing way, way easier. One really valuable point that I have is batch creating. That's just one way that I like to streamline one of my systems. If you want to find out more about how you can actually streamline your content creation process, this aspect of it, that video will be linked up here. Super useful. Go check it out if you want to learn how I do that and how I'm able to make so much content without putting in much time into the actual content creation process. Being a content creator, especially a full-time one, is incredibly time consuming. I think people vastly underestimate how much time it actually takes to do this. So getting systems or streamlining already existing systems that you might have to be more efficient is an absolute must. Without it, you are gonna just burn yourself out, for lack of a better term, or you're just not going to be as productive as you possibly could be, getting less content out that you might be possible to be getting out. Your time is going to be spent on silly things instead of the things that really matter. So just analyzing all your systems is hugely beneficial. Something else that kind of falls under this is I really like to focus on this thing called the 80-20 rule, where 20% of your efforts attribute to 80% of your results. So really find out what the things that are making the most difference and focus your energy onto that. You're not going to be able to give your all to every aspect all of the time. It's unrealistic. But if you can find out what's making the most difference or the things that are benefiting you the most in the long run, focus on that portion of things, because that's what's going to drive you through to actually make it as a successful content creator later down the line. All the other stuff, all the extra bullshit is just taking up your time, and although it kind of seems important, it might not be the most important thing that you could be focusing your effort onto. I think that's about it. And if you guys want to check out that program that I just released, this is exactly the system I used to build up my entire content creation businesses, as well as teaching other friends to follow the exact method and also had success. So if you guys do want to make money as content creators, enroll in the 30-day program. You can go and check it out. It's going to be linked in the top of the description. Other than that, I hope you found this video useful. I will see you in the next one. Have fun. Bye.